Good afternoon, Patriots. It's actually still morning here in California. It's 11:46 a.m. on the 4th day of August in the year of our Lord 2021. And I'm here to speak to you about a lot of mixed emotions, a lot of confusion, uh, and some prayers that may be answered. As you know, or maybe you don't if you're just tuning in, my name is Patrick Collins. I was raised Roman Catholic, a practicing Roman Catholic. I'm not practicing right now, but I still read the readings. I still read the Bibles. I still believe totally in my faith. My only disappointment is with the Church, the Pope, and the obviously the pedophilia that existed that went unpunished, and that's a big problem for me. But my belief in God has never, ever altered, and we're going to bring God back to America, and I firmly believe that we have to be a God-fearing, God-loving country again. So, with that said, I have been saying a prayer over and over again, and I have really turned to prayer. I turned it up a notch recently. And my prayer was that God our Father's light, His amazing light, would shine upon the truth so that it could be spread around the entire world. And I'm actually in a prayer group with Bobby Piton, and I in the chat room I typed that prayer, and it was embraced in the prayer room. Then lo and behold, Bobby expressed that he was going to a weekend meetings that was very clandestine. We didn't know much about it. He said the only things he said about it was that I won't be able to bring my cell phone into the meeting. So I'm thinking military experience, cybersecurity people that understand phones can be hacked, and it's going to be a private meeting. So with that said, excuse me, Ella, come here. With that said, this is my dog Ella, so I say hi, Ella. So with that being said, my prayer was not being answered with the light of God being shed upon it, and I was disappointed. And then I hear that Bobby is giving his work to a group in Florida. That's all he said, and that he's actually going to be stepping back from the election integrity and concentrating on his business, which is a noble thing to do, and his campaign. He's running for U.S. Senate, which I'm fully endorsing him, and I'm fully supporting him as much as I can from California as spreading his word and being a force multiplier. The hardest thing about this past weekend, was the emotions of, well, my answers, I'll be prepared to this. But Bobby's saying at the same time how confident he is that President Trump will be reinstated by the end of the year, possibly within 60 days. So what's happening in those 60 days? Well, we know of Mike Flynn, I got ahead of myself there, Mike Lindell symposium. And I believe that will be a watershed moment where everybody's going to, already so many people know, I think 60% of American public knows something smells funny about the 2020 election. So I think, and the illegitimate one, resident Joe Biden, approval ratings is dropping. It's dropped 10 points recently, and I believe he's heading into the 30s, and that's something that Steve Bannon has spoke about in the War Room. So I'm putting those two things together, and I'm saying, well, things could be happening, but I'm still concerned. Why wasn't any light on this? Now, one of the reasons could be it's a strategy session. The Rig, the movie The Deep Rig by Patrick Byrne, who was very involved and very close with Bobby Piton's in that movie, was released for free, and now it's free. They're asking for donations, and I hope everybody would give a little bit, what they can, and download the movie and watch it and spread it, and at least be a force multiplier. Spread that movie. But I had a dream before I watched the movie, and it's funny that Bobby talks about dreams all the time that he has, and I haven't dreamed in a long time. And this dream was the one type of dream that woke me up, 5 in the morning. And my dream was that we know who is behind all this. We know the what. We got hacked. We know the fraud. The election fraud is very complicated. It's a very complicated web, like a spider web, a big spider web, and it's so that's the what. The where, of course, was all over the election. The when was November 3rd, 2020. Why was because the globalists wanted to get rid of Donald Trump. What do we know? There was who, what, when, where, why, and I've just answered what, when, and where, everything but who. So that was my dream, is that, well, Bobby's stepping back, and I think they must know who. Because if they do, and they can prove it, we're talking treason, charges, convictions, military court tribunals possibly, not the judicial system. And it'll be very, very rewarding to finally see accountability for people that have been doing bad things for decades. And it won't just be Democrats. Trust me, it will not just be Democrats, although I think Democrats are the primary culprits. So then I started thinking about that dream I had and who, and I come up with the usual suspects. Well, Soros, the other billionaires, Zuckerberg, and people like that. But also two other people that you haven't seen on MSNBC and CNN recently, and that's Brennan and Clapper. Now, I really believe Durham's report is delayed because of November 3rd. And if you get to the bottom of November 3rd, January 6th is just going to be a cakewalk to get to the bottom of. So that was my dream. And, a revelation is what I believe. And I believe we're very close to finding who. Mike Lindell's weekend will be a watershed moment. But I wanted to share with you why I believe this is true. And it's a little bit of a review if you haven't seen it. But I wanted to share with you who was Michael Flynn and who is Colonel Waldron. And if you understand who they are and their expertise in intelligence and cyber intelligence, and think about this. General Michael Flynn being taken out by Comey and the cabal was probably the worst thing. Of all the things that they tried to do to Trump, that was the one that they were successful in doing that hurt Trump the most. Because none of it would have happened if General Flynn was there. General Flynn knew where all the bodies lied. If you remember, General Flynn was let go of or forced to resign or fired by Obama because he was standing up to Obama and all the evil that Obama was bringing, his globalist America Last policies was doing to America, and what he was doing to the American policies, dreams, and military even. So they got rid of Michael Flynn too easily, and I don't ever think we got to the bottom of that. But understand this, that when Michael Flynn was finally pardoned, he went to work on election integrity right away. He knew what was going to happen before it happened. Now, Colonel Waldron is a cybersecurity guy that you can't really find out a lot about. That's why he's, so good. I believe when you find out what actually happened, and it is all revealed, those two gentlemen are going to be the real heroes. So when I see that Bobby, I think Bobby just finally gave his work to someone he trusted, his algorithm to find the phantom voters. And I believe Edward Solomon was in that was in there too. And Edward has basically fallen off the face of the planet as far as I'm concerned. I haven't seen him on YouTube. I haven't seen him, with Bobby anywhere. I haven't seen him anywhere. So he's probably, believe me, he's doing his work, and I believe that. I don't think he went on vacation at all. I think he's just diving into the work. The Arizona audit will be another watershed moment. We'd love to get the routers. The routers will corroborate what Mike Lindell is going to be showing you. They'll be showing the same thing, and that'll be corroboration. Those routers were subpoenaed. To enforce that subpoena is not going to be hard. And I'm not saying what will happen. I don't want violence, but I think force will be used at some point to enforce the warrants, because that's what police do. That's what and if police don't do it, someone else is going to do it. The sheriff which won't happen in Maricopa, but because that sheriff's woke as could be, but someone above him then. The AG could do it. National Guard could do it. The governor could order the National Guard to do it. There's so many ways to get around this. There's a lot of quivers in there. A lot of arrows in the quiver, I should say. These things will take time, a little bit of time, but I think they're all going to come to a head. There's many ways this is going to unfold, and that's something we have to pay attention to. But I'm going to wrap this up soon, because I've made my point. My dream was we know who, and once you know who, you know motive, and then once you know motive, you can prove it. And I just want to put a thanks out to all the people involved. That would be from everybody from Liz Harris to Bobby Piton to Edward Solomon I'll even thank Dr. Frank and Mike Lindell. I want to thank Colonel Waldron. I want to thank the two Mikes, Mike McInerney. I want to thank General Flynn. I want to thank Colonel Waldron. I want to thank all the patriots, all the moms. I want to raise this point, and this is what has the left really worried. The women involved in this movement of election integrity we've not seen anything like the women in the workforce of this project since World War II. That's quite incredible. Between the moms that are canvassing, between the moms that are doing activities, lawsuits, social media pages, organizing, election integrity pages, all these audit California, audit every state, audit the vote. Telegram has been spectacular. It is an unbelievable thing to see all these women participating in this at a level that hasn't been seen since World War II. Another thing I wanted to point out was that Biden's approval rating is tanking. It's tanking. But that's just a sign of his illegitimacy and what he's doing to this country, between the border policies and the international, the military, the education, the COVID disaster. It's too much for him to handle, and we don't think he really had it in him to begin with. That's why the steal was so horrendous. So among those thanks, I want to thank the women, every man, women, and young person that is involved in this to find the truth, because the truth will always come out. It's incredible. So I want to close with my prayer again, that, dear God Almighty, may your light shine upon the greatest country, the greatest republic ever. And let your light be that shines on the truth that's spread, not just in our country, but around the world. And I hope this goes. Oh, I wanted to say one more thing. I one of the ladies that in our prayer group, and I don't know if Maria wants me to say her full name out here, so I won't. But she came up with a great slogan about MAGA, Make America God Again. And I like that. I might add, Make America God-like again, because we want to be in the image and likeness of God. I think our actions should be in the image and likeness of God. And but I think MAGA is going to live for a long, long time. Peace out, and I hope to hear from you soon. Hope you enjoyed that.